with you that just today I received my Fresh Air Personal, this wonderful little device that I can wear anywhere I go, and it creates a 6-foot area around me that takes care of viruses and other pathogens, and it's just a wonderful little device. As soon as I started wearing it, I noticed kind of like a general feeling of like fresh air. Like just that's what I was breathing was fresh air. I can't put it any other way. So it's a great sense of well-being and safety to have this device, so that I know when I go out into the world that I have this to keep me safe. Second, I also received my Fresh Air Mobile, and so this is going in my car, and so now I have my Velara Air and Surface Pro at home. I've got my Fresh Air Mobile that I can utilize when I go out into my car, into the world in my car, and then I've got this wonderful little device here. And I got to say, the merchandising that Velara does is exceptional. I'm really pleased to see this level of merchandising. Those of you who have purchased high-end phones, like an iPhone or a high-end Android device, a Samsung, one of the really good ones, you know that the packaging has become a standard for quality merchandise in the world. And Velara really lives up to that standard. So I'm really pleased to see them stepping up in that way. And it was true with the Air and Surface Pro, which is the first product I got, but there was something about these that just felt like these little handheld devices or devices for the car were very, very nicely done. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here, and I'm going to share my screen with you.
What if you could simply press a button that gave you 24/7 protection and was 99.9% effective against the virus that causes COVID-19, as well as countless other viruses, pathogens, bacteria, and allergens? Well, I'm here to tell you that you can. Today, I want to introduce to you one of only 75 products to ever be inducted into NASA's Space Technology Hall of Fame. It's recently even garnered attention of national media. This technology is called ActivePure. ActivePure is a patented, much more advanced form of PCO technology. PCO stands for photocatalytic oxidation, which can destroy particles as little as 0.001 microns. The all-new Air and Surface Pro purification system uses this technology to safely and effectively deploy disinfecting molecules into the air. These tiny little molecules seek and destroy pathogens in the air and on surfaces. This is very different than other purification technologies that take a passive approach, requiring the pathogens to be pulled into a HEPA filter, UV light, or plain PCO mechanism, which frankly are inefficient and have been studied to potentially produce dangerous byproducts. With ActivePure, you simply press a button of the setting that you desire and you let it go to work. What the Air and Surface Pro does is continuously dispatch supercharged submicroscopic particles at a tremendous rate of speed of 1,200 feet per second. These ionized particles then go on offense against these pathogens by piercing its shell, destroying its living environment, and rendering it completely harmless. What you've done is neutralized and killed the threat. What you essentially have is your very own PPE working around you non-stop to ensure that your air and all of the high-touch surfaces are 99.9% free and clear of viruses, bacteria, allergens, and pathogens. In one of these conclusive tests, the Air and Surface Pro reduced the virus that causes COVID-19 by 99.96% in just 3 minutes. Think about that. It all but eliminated the threat of the virus in 180 seconds. ActivePure has become so trusted, our major clients now include the International Space Station, Cleveland Clinic, Major League Baseball, U.S. Capitol buildings, as well as a quickly growing number of schools, businesses, and homes all across the U.S. and Canada, a number of which my team is personally working with. That is why I'm sharing this with you today. Listen, we don't need a pandemic to understand the importance of this product. Safeguarding ourselves against viruses and pathogens is something that we should all be concerned about anyways. Now more than ever, putting ActivePure technology in homes and businesses or schools and workplaces is exactly the type of proactive, common sense solutions that we need to move the needle forward and prevent this type of event ever happening again. Help us open America back up and ensure that we keep it open in the future with Active Pure technology.
Hi, I'm Dr. Deborah Birx. Some of you may recognize me from my work over the last year, working in the White House as the Coronavirus Response Coordinator. Some of you also may know me from my work in infectious diseases and in pandemics around the world, working on HIV, TB, and malaria for a number of decades, 30 years almost in the military, and then at HHS and Department of State. And really, I'm excited to announce that I will be a Chief Medical and Scientific Advisor to Active Pure Technology. You know, when I was traveling the country, I was able to really talk to people and understand what their needs really were, how people want to really feel safe again indoors, and safe again indoors when you can't wear a mask. And so I was really looking for technology that was science and data driven, really working to address that specific issue, to make indoor spaces safe for individuals. And Active Pure is one of those companies that has really that type of technology. The exciting thing to me about Active Pure and the company is the people are passionate about their product. They've worked on it for decades. They've worked on it to really develop the scientific evidence and the data. The FDA has given them medical clearance for their medical guardian. It really shows the impact of this particular technology and showing that people can both be in the space and the technology can be running, providing that level of confidence that your air has that level of purity, that there won't be transmission of these really critical agents that we're all concerned about now. I think for a long time we were concerned about our air quality, and I think now we're very concerned about our air purity. And being able to work with a team that's continuing to innovate and being able to really answer a need that restaurants, potentially cruise ships, obviously sports teams, schools, and even break rooms where you really have to have your mask off in order to eat and drink and really provide that new insight and new technology. And so I'm happy to be working with this team, working with a really passionate group that want to make it safe for America to be indoors and have their mask off while they're eating.
Now with the distribution of the COVID vaccine underway, the next challenge becomes how to make people feel more comfortable with returning to offices and other places. It's where air purifiers could come into play, and the reason why my next guest is seeking emergency approval from the FDA to help fight the pandemic. For more, I'm joined by Joe Urso. He's the chairman and CEO of Active Pure Technologies. Joe, welcome, and what do you need FDA approval for specifically?
Thanks, Kelly. Well, FDA approval is very important because that clearance gives the assurances to people that you're bringing medical-grade protection to everyday places like businesses and schools and homes. And in fact, Kelly, we already have it with our AIRS Medical Guardian, where we demonstrated enormous kill rates against RNA viruses and other pathogens. And we're now bringing it to the FDA to approve us for our specific tests on the SARS-CoV-2 virus, both in the air and on surfaces.
I'm reading your client list already is impressive. If it includes the Cleveland Clinic, MLB, universities, Mississippi State, state capitol buildings. So it would seem like word's getting around regardless, right?
Well, it is slowly, but I'd say we're just scratching the surface on it. And there's a lot more work to do to try to help people get back to life as we know it.
What specifically does your air filter do? So for those of us who are concerned about going back into a restaurant, is it the kind of peace of mind where I say, okay, well, I'm okay going into a restaurant that has an air purifier in it, but I'm not with one that doesn't, for example. Is it that kind of get out of jail free card, or does it not quite, make things perfectly safe? I'm sure nothing can.
Well, let's say this, it complements other solutions but in a material way. We recently got our test results back from the University of Texas Medical Lab, where we killed 99.9%, more than that actually, of the SARS-CoV-2 virus that was nebulized at over 10 million particles per milliliter, We killed them in just 3 minutes. And that kind of protection, that kind of real-time protection that basically attacks the virus at its source, literally as it's coming out of your mouth, creates an enormous safety net. And while nothing's perfect, you know, God help you if someone should cough in your face or something like that, it could be problematic, but it would make a material difference in giving peace of mind to help businesses reopen.
But do you think if this were widely deployed, that would actually go a long way towards getting us back to normal, no matter what's happening with vaccines and so forth?
Well, I do. I really do. And I think what we're seeing, Kelly, right now, and working with government agencies and other major businesses, is that this type of solution has become almost an expected level of protection for patrons and their employees.
I'm starting the experiment, the smoke. So I'm turning on the smoke. You see the smoke now forming, building. See it forming. This is how the ionization process works. Okay, there's the brush. Okay, you're seeing the ionization, and then this is the process. Now it goes out and eradicates the smoke. This is the ionization process. This is also in the fresh air personal. Yes.